Welcome to another episode of Unmuted. And today I'm going to talk about how I am the bottleneck in my business and how you are probably the bottleneck in your career. So, when it comes to a bottleneck, right? Where's the bottleneck? Starts from the top. So, when people think about, oh, I can't get this done because XYZ, because this person didn't do this and this person didn't do that, blah, blah, blah. I don't have that kind of accountability. It's just me. I am the top, and the top is me. Like, cue Luda, move, okay? Because at this point, I feel like I need to just get out of my own way. Now, last week, you'll recall that I got an inquiry from an organization that I had reached out to, right? Dopeness, right? But then I got in my own freaking way and I started thinking, oh, well, maybe the other people haven't responded yet because of the website, or maybe they haven't responded yet because the messaging isn't right, or maybe this and maybe that. And granted, part of what I was feeling was valid because I realized there was a connection that I made inside my mind, but I did not say on the sales page. I didn't say in the outreach message, right? So I did need to rework that part. But then I started going down a complete rabbit hole and relying on AI and relying on, other people's brains for this because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done consulting before. This is not in my wheelhouse. How can I? What? Who am I? How can I? And when I tell y'all, I got in my own way this week. It was crazy. And part of it is because I didn't have proper systems set up, right? So I had to set up my system in order to do the research, make sure that I'm not doing the research and the outreach at the same time because it's using two different parts of my brain, right? And so I got that in order. And then I'm like, well, what if they don't respond back to me? The company that had responded originally and all of that. You know that they did. Of course they did. Of course they did. Because they were clearly really interested, right? And I'm one of those people that instead of being grateful, instead of having gratitude about something, I'll be like, this is great, but, and then start doubting every single piece of me and every single piece of why whatever happened is dope. And then I'll start questioning and I'll start going back on myself and thinking I don't have what it takes. And it's just this whole mind drama. Like I completely forget about facts over feelings, completely forget about it. And so one of the main reasons I wanted to bring this up is because when I think about the bottleneck in your career, it's easy for you to be like, oh, my boss didn't do this, my coworkers didn't do that, the team wasn't able to da da da. But how accountable are you being for yourself? Are you standing in your own way for your career growth? Is it you? It could be them too, but have you made sure and done all your checks and balances to see, is it you? Do you make it so that even though you do your work, your boss still has to come back and ask you questions? Or do you take accountability and follow up with your boss first? Or, are you setting up systems in place? Because at the end of the day, right, your name isn't on that door, right? You're not the one writing the checks and all of this. However, you are the CEO of yourself. So when it comes to making sure that we are not the bottleneck in our career, we have to make sure that we are doing everything in our own power to proceed, right? To advance, to get ahead, to get those projects we want, the role that we want, the everything that we're looking to get. And if you are someone who defaults to everyone else and allows everyone else to make decisions for you, well, are you really a high level, high value employee that you think you are? And if you don't think you are your behaviors the way that they are because you don't think you are? Right? It's twofold here. Are you actually not high level, high value? If you're not, how can you become? What are the things that you can do to up level yourself? Sure, you may need, formal training on something or this and that. But what are you doing to educate yourself? What are you doing to make yourself better? Are you pulling your leadership team into meetings to be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing, but I don't have the tools to do it. Can you help me? Or, I've had some ideas, but I'm not really sure how to put them into practice. Are you really taking ownership of your own career, or are you defaulting to someone else? And so this journey of being a business owner makes me realize I had done that a lot in my career and didn't even realize it. Because now that there's no one for me to turn to, now that it's just me, no help, it's all me for real, I have no choice but to realize and look in the mirror like, oh, girl, no, it's you. You're the one halting your progress. Because when I put the systems in place, when I started realizing and having to continually remind myself that I am that girl by the grace of God, that's when I get stuff done. But when I'm not thinking of facts over feelings and when I'm just completely in my mind drama and thinking, okay, well, maybe I could do this instead of that, and procrastination and all of these things, I am giving power to someone else. I am giving the power of my business to outside sources. And if you can relate, then that means that you've been doing that in your own career. So how do we change that? Or what's the solution here? The solution would be to now start taking accountability for yourself. Start thinking about, okay, this meeting didn't go great. How can I make it go better next time? I didn't finish this project on time. What were the factors? And out of those factors, what could I have done differently? How could I have made this process better? It's when we start taking accountability for ourselves, for our actions, for our thoughts, for our career, for everything, that's when you're able to, how can I say, circumvent basically those issues of not being seen as a leader, as not being seen as that girl. Because there are things that are completely out of your control, right? Like, what are you supposed to do about that, right? But there are things that you absolutely can't control. So, how much of it are you controlling? Or how much of it are you allowing it to control you? Like, really take a look at yourself and evaluate. And I would challenge you, evaluate yourself every 90 days, once a quarter, to see what has gone well, what has gone not so well, and how it could be better. You need to be the one to challenge your own self. If you and now listen, if you are just like, I just want to do my job and go home, it's cool. Literally no judgment. But if you're someone who you're like, no, I actually want to advance because X, Y, and Z, whatever your reasons are, it doesn't matter. The fact is you want to advance. But if you are still playing victim, right? Because that's what it really is. The lack of accountability is victim mentality. So when you stop playing victim in your career, you are then able to see the full scope. And you're able to see, okay, what can I do? What parts can I play? Right. And there's going to be times where you're in a company where you do all that you could do. You be all that you can be, like the army, and still you get nowhere. Then that means you break up with that company, you go somewhere else. Right. But before you even get to that point, before you start writing your Dear John letter, you need to first make sure you are doing the things that you need to do. You have made yourself a leader, because with or without a title, you can be a leader, but you have to be holding yourself accountable. I remember when I did It's Giving Promotion, and one of the interviewees, she had said, I love when my employees come to me with questions and solutions. And she was basically like, if you come up with this with the suggestion, right? And then I have to be the one to carry things out. It's no longer your idea. You're no longer heading that. So what is the point? What is the point of you giving that idea? What is the point of you being here? you need to realize that you are your own boss. You are your own little CEO. So with that, with that change in mindset, that is how you can then flip it, hold yourself more accountable, and start really strategizing on how you can make things better at your job. So listen, if you have your peace out notice in hand, hold it for a second, and let's really work through how to make sure you're doing the things that you can do. One of my clients, she was supposed to leave her job. Like, she literally was like, nah, I'm done. I don't want nothing to do with this. And as she was in my program, Command the Room, since last year in 2025, she had realized, number one, she hadn't systemized uh, her materials, right? And by systemizing it, it allowed her process to be smoother so that she can get things out faster, so that it can become an actual resource for the team, right? And then number two, she realized how much she had been shrinking back and allowing other people to step on her ideas, and not speaking up in meetings, and not giving the suggestions that she could have, right? And I've spoken about her on this podcast before. So at the end of last year, when she met with her VP said, we had been waiting for you to let us know that you wanted to move up. She could have been moved up, because in that time frame, in that year, she had been showing more and more of her leadership skills. But the problem is, she had been shrinking back and not showing that she wanted more. So that's the other thing. Are you asking for more? Or are you being like a typical woman and thinking that people are mind readers? Listen, I'll hold my hand up and say I do that all the time. I'm thinking, I said something to my fiance. I did not. I didn't tell him something. I'm thinking I told a boss. I did not. I was thinking it in my head, cussing him out. Right. So it's not like we all don't do that. But if you're really fed up with your job because lack of growth, have you spoken about the kind of growth that you want? Have you created a plan for yourself? Have you told them the direction that you want to go in, what you want to be known for? Because if not, girlfriend, you got beef with the wrong person. You need to have beef with yourself. You are the bottleneck. So listen, I don't like to leave you out without a solution. So part of what you can be doing, other than the things that I've already said, is join Command the Room Sis. Command the Room Sis is my 6-month group coaching program where you will learn about professional identity, what you want to be known for, what kind of reputation you want to have, what reputation you already have. And if there is a discrepancy, what is that discrepancy? What's the difference? And how do we bridge that gap? You'll also understand how to communicate and use better language, right? Within yourself, but also to the people around you, so that you can be showing yourself to be an asset to the business, to show yourself to have ROI in the company, return on investment, because they're not promoting you if there's no return on investment. For what? There's a point. Right. And then also we'll go over visibility, creating a visibility map for you, and learning who in your company, actually inside and outside of your company, can advocate for you, can be the one to vouch for you in rooms that you're not in. And in those 6 months, when we put those things together, we ultimately come up with a business case for promotion, which the business case for promotion is typically done by HR leaders, senior managers, people like that, right? It's never really the typical employee that does it. But in Command Ellipsis, you are the one who is to take control of your career. You're the one who's going to be in the driver's seat, so to speak. And so you will create that document so that you can present all the facts, the figures, and show exactly why you deserve the promotion that you're saying that you deserve. And that way you can just slap it on your leader's desk. Be like, hey, I'd love to have a meeting with you. Can we go over this document? Boom, boom, bam. So I definitely want to invite you to that. There are 2 ways that you can pay. You can either get your employer to pay, all right? And ain't no fun if the homies can't get none. So you can even ask them if your coworkers can join along too. This is about professional development. And not only that, but you can also self-pay as well. Now, When you look at the website, I know it looks like it's a lot. Don't worry, the self-pay is different for the average employee. Okay. So if it's something that you are interested in and you know for sure that you will not be able to get your employer to pay, or you're not working right now and you want to be able to take the program, email me and you will be able to get the pricing and everything like that. You can also email me if you don't know how to approach this to your employer, but you know you want to. I have a whole script and everything for you. So listen, let's stop being the bottleneck of our career. Let's stop getting in our own way. Let's not be the one that Ludacris sings to. Okay. I bid you all adieu. It has been a wonderful episode once again, and see you soon. Bye.